I'm on the like 10-second delay or whatever. So, hey, it's Karen. Yeah, you're back in game.
Good.
You should probably just like delete those scenes real quick.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting to be using my machine for casting until like 5 minutes ago, so surprise!
Yeah, no big deal. Little technical difficulties.
So why don't we actually get this match underway, and as we move along, I'll begin to talk about why we are not doing Reliable versus Exertus. So welcome everybody, you are watching Cevo TV, I'm Cott, and my partner is Klops, and today you're not watching Reliable versus Exertus. This is Press Start E-Gaming versus Clay. What's the other one?
Uh, Chosen, I believe.
Chosen.
Changes.
Changes. You're right. It's a B look, and if I can just show you right now, everybody's stacking up inside of these hallways. I'm going to come pouring out in just a second. No one's in the kitchen yet. We have one holding from the catwalk. He lands a nice shot onto Cameron. They've been mostly stuck, and I think they're going to try to retreat here to reverse direction. So this around the world is in progress, Clay. You know, while we are in transition between here and the actually there's some action, so we'll get back to that in a second. A two-man pinch, one coming from CT spawn. Nobody seems to know about it, and Clipsy's letting himself get killed and his teammate also get killed at the same time. Very sloppy round thus far. The counter terrorist now clamping down on the last two. Stratus, I'm kind of pleased that one of them name is Stratus, by the way, and the last one Esteban, both at a ramp. Beautiful shot. Stratus knocks out into Minsk. And I'm going to struggle saying that for the rest of the rounds, Clay. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it looks should be odd to say.
Two-man stack up. I am you brings down Stratus and Esteban, who stood up right in front of each other and made the critical mistake not to blind each other from standing in front of one another. Clay, we're not watching Reliable versus Exertus. I know why. Do you know why?
I do know why.
It
has to do with mean internet people.
That's one way to put it. Yeah, that's probably the right way to put it. Mean internet people is exactly how I would describe it. There are DOSers on the prowl again, and not European ones. These ones are more domestic. They've DDoSed, or DOSed, depending on who they are, DOSing, the players of Reliable. So they will no longer be able to effectively play their match today, as they are now still attempting to complete their first match of the night, which I've heard has been DDoS maybe like 4 times now. So we're not going to run that risk. Instead, we'll move on to another Cevo-Main game. These two teams obviously vying for position in this regular season to make it to the postseason, Clay. So, Clay, welcome to the show. It's been a good weekend, but now we're back on the grind horse, the wheel.
Certainly are, and we're missing some stuff going on here as Stratus lost man alive, but he goes down. And that's going to be the typical 2 for the counter-terrorist option. They want the pistol round, and they're most likely going to be able to pick up a third here. Since that's usually how it goes, I don't think we're going to see a surprise buy for Impress Start here. I think they're going to want to save for those ops, as the op is quite a good gun on Mirage here.
Now I'm going to be very, very disciplined, and thanks to the new UI I can do this. I am never going to press tab this entire game because I don't want anyone to see give any reason for anyone to DOS us. 3 heading toward the B tunnels, bombs going that way. Our number 1 man going to him right now is going to receive him. Doherty's frame, trying to move backwards and save himself. He can't land a kill for his life, has to switch to his PC5. Hopefully he can bring one down. He doesn't. He delivers a weapon instead to press start. You know, I just did voice enable 0, and for some reason I can still hear the in-game comms, which is sadly annoying. Clay, do you know how to disable that?
It should be the command you just said, but
let's try that again.
Maybe it takes around. I don't know. Who knows? I am you, the last man alive on the clutch, and I think he's just going to save the Famas. He realizes it's 1 versus 5, and he's not going to be able to retake B against 5 terrorists, so he's going to go back, maybe head back towards the end of B halls, and maybe try to get an exit kill or 2, which is smart. I think that's a good play.
It is the right play. You know, they have given up around here, which they didn't want to, but thanks to a sloppy hold inside of B, they will walk away with an SMG and a FOM. It's not that it matters on the 3rd round. That'll give them enough money for weapons like AKs, like ops, and on a balanced map like this, you take nothing for granted. 3 rounds at the beginning, not a guarantee on Mirage.
No, and it was really a great save round by Press Start. I mean, they did just a standard rush to B, which you would think, you know, could be stopped by the defenders in B, but it looks like that Changes here is only playing 1 man in B, and I don't know if that's just specifically for this round, but it's a gun round, so I think that's actually the setup they're going with here.
It is a 2-2-1, bombs traveling through the B tunnels. Our number 1 man, Doherty, who has been in B the entire time. I don't think he's been rotating around is going to be the one who has to stop the pusher here. It's a mid-control look, 3 pushing through mid, 1 through the underpass, 1 through shipping, and 1 through on the right side, waiting for someone to peek. And Nominsk is the first one who at the electrical connector went down, and his teammate in the window is now backing out. So 4 now controlling mid. The players in A now thinking, okay, they have mid. We've got to start making the play here. That op shot takes out another one. Entries into B are good, and somehow Press Start has not communicated the fact they're going to press into A anyway. And I don't know if this is sort of a reverse psychology play, but Clay, they had a free bomb site to take, and they're taking unnecessary casualties.
Yeah, they are, and a little bit drastic that the offer went down, and now they're just still pushing for it, and they're coming close to retaking this, but they do take a lot of damage. As you said, I'm with you now in the clutch, but he does have a good chance here, and he does get the bomb carrier, so that's going to improve his chances even greater.
That bomb momentum carried it into the bomb site, delivering it right to the hands of Clipsy. I'm going to move to him right now, see if he can pick it up and make a play here. He won't. He won't. He thinks that he's got a kill to make here, and I don't know that IMU knows exactly where Clipsy is. Now, he has made no attempt to recover the bomb, and with 20 seconds left, perhaps he's put himself in a bad position.
Yeah, I'm you. I thought he was going to get caught looking there from the X-ray, but he's actually in a decent spot. I mean, if he hears the bomb being planted, he should be able to move out and pick this kill up, and you see him on the map. He is coming out. A little too slow on that, though.
Frag over the top will do nothing. IMU gets sprayed down, and Clipsy, who cannot control his recoil, does not kill him, or IMU returns the favor. IMU finally goes down here. Bit of a sloppy spray, but Clipsy does come up with a clutch play. 2-2. Press Start has evened it up.
They haven't. Someone asked, this isn't RG versus Exertus. That's because the match has been rescheduled due to DDoSes on Exertus's first match of the night. They're still trying to finish that up, so instead it is going to be Press Start versus Changes, another Cevo-Main matchup here. And as you see, we're already 5 rounds in. Well, we're on the 5th round. And pretty even so far. I think Press Start has a good chance to take this round, though, since they are on the bye and Changes on the save.
IMU comes up and ambushes Convict, but Clipsy and Stratus clean up here. It's a 5-man push through mid. You see this play frequently from teams like Denial or iBuyPower, excuse me. Good trades thus far here. Doherty, of course, is in a bad position to win this round, but for the most part, everybody's blind, by the way, in this one exchange here. For the most part, you know, you'll take the 3 kills, especially that delivers a gun. Doherty leaps over the op, so he doesn't have to deal with the weapon draw animation. Saves him some time. He's got an AK, and it's a 1-on-2 clutch with a gun, which is so much better, if I can state the obvious.
And I don't think they know that they're being flanked right now, so he's actually in a pretty good position.
Cameron does know.
Like,
Cameron knows. Doherty fires through the smoke, hoping to pick up a lucky kill there. He's got the right idea. He knows somebody's in the bomb site, and he's getting peeked right now, which is the last thing you want to do on a 1-on-2. So Cameron, who threw the flash, is obviously hiding on the right. Doherty knows this, and he's got an idea that somebody's in the site because somebody just peeked him. So he's got the location of both players. He gets a shot right at his hip, misses. Cameron comes up over the top of the electric, cannot kill him. After finally a couple more exchanges, that round gets cleaned up. 3-2. Terrace side takes a lead. Clay, you know, we were about to be disappointed because they lost the round, but remember, that was an eco.
It was an eco, and they did it. It was a great eco. I mean, they killed 3 people, forcing them to rebuy, so that's always going to be good. And if you look at the money we see here, Terrorists aren't looking too good. If they lose this round or don't get the bomb down, then they're going to be hurting in terms of cash. So
for anybody who is curious, obviously this is not reliable versus Exertus. Obviously, you are watching Cevo-Main as we said it, and obviously, I'm never pulling up the tab screen. And for those of you who are messaging me right now, figuring out why I
pulled up tab, by the way, and I don't see any server information. But
is that patched out now? Oh, I'm not. You can't trick me like that, you gypsy. I know you know.
No, I'm being serious.
You're just trying to DOS me.
But I got to ask. You mentioned iBuyPower was now Denial's now iBuyPower. Did that become official?
That's official. Yeah, that was on Reddit for a while. We knew about that. We just didn't know when we could start talking about that. This round's almost over. One left in mid. Convict with an op has an expensive gun that he doesn't want to lose. But Clay, minute 15, you're bound to lose this one.
Yeah, he picks up one, but doesn't have the reflexes, I'll say, to pick up Doherty, as he was just waiting for him. And it was pretty much an easy kill for Doherty, knowing where he's at, and he's just posted up waiting for him to peek again. So good job by them. And, man, this is turning out to be a very close game. And like I said in the last round, that the Terrorists not looking too good in terms of cash. They're actually on the eco here, except for Stratus, who picks up a gun, for an SMG for himself.
Stratus has to be our named favorite here simply because of his
Is
this
that the
position.
Stratus we know?
No, of course not. Spray here from IMU into sight, lands a nice two-burst here, defends, picks up a double, nice deagle from a distance, will deliver a gun to Convict, but he's totally trapped in the corner and delivers the bomb to the hands of the counter-terror. So Clipsy, who has no chance to clutch this, gets a piercing headshot as a reward to end the round. 4-3, the counter-terrorist. And by the way, this is a back-and-forth game. I like this. It's Mirage. This is the map that has the most back-and-forth game. But Clay, what I wanted to say was we didn't get to do any of our pre-show. We didn't get to do the news, which I could have. We could have gone over the whole iBuyPower thing. We could have gone over how ESL is performing these days with their LAN performances. By the way, the production value on that's through the roof. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, I saw, and there were some good matches going on with that as well.
And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was our normal warm-up where we talk about the map and we talk about predictions. Now, that op shot is a classic. Doherty lands a nice one. Cameron, who is walking, trying to be sneaky, obviously is going to be upset over the fact that that just happened here. So if you guys hear vent right now, that's because I'm actually in a vent and I mistakenly left it on. My mistake there. Doherty in the bomb site has delivered for this round. After playing weak in the bomb site, has come up big this round with a triple here. He's in the closet, in the prison, whatever you like to call it. Finally gets taken out 3-1. Or excuse me, 3-2, now 2-2 for both teams. Neminsk and a Paup. Can we call him a Paup? We're going to call him a Paup.
Sure. I don't know.
I mean, it just sounds better.
They all got to put their names backwards and stuff. It's always annoying.
Oh, I don't care what his name is. A Paup is what I'm going to call him because it sounds great. Speaking of a Paup, he comes around the corner and 80-80's Convict. Last one's in the prison or the jail or the bench or whatever you want to call it. Neminsk cleans it up and will defuse the bomb, which is on his left. He figures that out. 2-round lead, Clay. What I was cut off talking about earlier was our pregame rituals. A little bit about the keys to the game, a little bit about who's going to win, and obviously the predictions on how they'll win.
Yeah, we did miss that. In terms of predictions, I think I was going to put my money on press start, as changes is an unknown to me, and we did cast press start a few times in the previous season, and they weren't too terrible.
Well,
obviously, they made it to main.
This press start roster very different from what we last knew. There's no Magic on this roster.
Yeah, well, we know Magic joined. Was it Venom? I believe at the end of the season.
And Magic was one of the MVPs of that playoff, that season 2 playoff.
Yeah, and here we look at this nice entry into B, and that's going to open up the site. And that one man in B, it's kind of hurting these guys. They got the bomb. They should have the bomb down. There it goes. It finally goes down. Namas is on the entrance. He's trying to get a kill. He goes down. That's 2 other members of changes going down. Mouse coming in and getting a kill. IMU as well, and they're doing a good job at retaking here.
Absolutely.
But
3 left for the terrorists here. Clipsy, Convict, and Esteban holding the site. Eclipsy. I almost said Eclipse and Clipsy, but Clipsy lands a nice double to end the round here. They pull within 1. Clay, if you split 8-7 on this one, you're pretty much happy with it on either side. It's going to be the person who separates and makes the big play, and Mirage is about that one round, or those 1 or 2 rounds where somebody makes a big play that tips it to the 9-6, to the 10-5, and makes it that much more pivotal. I'm looking for those rounds, and we're trying to identify who that player is right now. And right now, the early favorites is IMU and Clipsy for both teams as they lead in the KDs.
Yeah, and right now I'm wondering if press start is going to start exploiting B, because they've been there a few times and they got to know that they're only playing one man. But it looks like actually changes have changed their strat up a little bit, and they're sending another man there early on just for the rushes if that comes.
Flash out. Oh, Esteban lands one right at the feet of Neminsk. He goes down after throwing a flash out to blind the people at mid. Mid control completely sealed up. 4 players out there, 1 person waiting at the ramp. It's a clear A take with the number 4-5 players of Paup and IMU holding onto the bomb site here. So they're just going to wait. They're going to slow play it and try to get someone to rotate out because they've got all the time in the world. A minute left to work on this bomb site. Here comes the initial flash. Nobody gets blinded, and the defender is a Paup. He sees the first one on top of the electrical, lands the kill. Esteban goes down. Next person to fight is going to be Stratus. Takes a shot. 1 taps a Paup. Beautiful shot there. And the last one up in the palace or the apartments, whichever you like to call it, is wielding his pistol. As we mentioned, it is an eco round. Another kill there. IMU goes down. Mouse has an op, by the way. Going to our number 3 man, who is now the clutch man. Gets opt as he comes around, looking at the connector. It's 5-5, all tied up, and this half is going really, really fast.
It is. Bruning says that Reliable is actually playing Pug Kings right now. I thought that wasn't happening.
Yeah, they're
But
playing Pug Kings right now. They can't finish because of the DDoSs, and
Reliable is getting DDoS too?
no, Reliable is the one getting DDoS. Exertus is the one who seems fine at the moment,
Oh.
and they will reschedule their match with Exertus for tomorrow, which we will cast, of course, because that one is going to be a great one. One up at shipping, or mid, or top mid, whatever you like to call it. Convict almost had a triple kill. Oh, hey, surprise, Mouse.
Oh, the Desert Eagle Blaze whips out and gets a headshot. Nice job there by Convict. And like you said, he's doing quite well. He's one of the two, Convict or Eclipsy are one of the two that are going to be, look like to be carrying this game for the most part. I mean, honestly, all of Press Start isn't doing too bad. Looking at the scores, 13-7, 10-6, 6-7, not too far behind from each other. So
You know, when you're 5-6 and you're just playing even, nobody's really doing bad.
yeah,
I have to point out that if you see somebody whipping out the Flamed Eagle, the Blazed Eagle, and you're sitting still and crouching, you have to know the headshot's coming. You need to like either do that awkward frog hop or something. Just get out of the way, you know.
well, who knows what the good Eagle? I mean, you could put that thing straight on someone and it'll like shoot 10 yards to the left.
Mouse didn't have enough bullets, brings down one and trades out. 2-2 down in the site, 3 left for both teams. Convict slow on the rotate and smartly with game sense knows that somebody's trying to rotate through the connector. A Paup is the person he caught. He'll go down. 2 in the kitchen, and this is the wrong way to retake because coming through with the window and the door at the same time is always death.
Yeah, jumping through that window is pretty much a death trap. I mean, it's it's such a small space. You're jumping. You're not going to be able to aim well because you're jumping. So I really dislike coming through there. Cat is my preferred entry when retaking the B site, honestly.
They, by the way, the counter-terrorists, I said they, but I was referring to a team, made the right decision to retreat and save their weapons for the round. Unfortunately, IMU gets taken out, so Nemensk is the only person who gets to save his weapon. But I got to point out, he saved thousands of dollars there. You know, 1,000 for armor, 4,000-ish for a weapon, another 1,000 for grenades. So you're saving 6K roughly. That's smart decisions there.
I wonder if they're going to put him into B since they've been playing one-man B anyways, and put the gunman in B and then overload A since you're on the eco round.
A definite viable possibility. The danger, of course, is once that person goes down, his weapon's lost for the round. Maybe you stack up and try to follow that person with the weapon. No, but we found out that Neminsk is actually in bomb site A. It's a 1-2-2 look, same thing that we've been seeing a lot here for press start. That bomb gets dropped in the tunnels, and Cameron is the one who is going to be managing it, holding it, making sure it doesn't get lost here. It's a eco round, of course. We saw it coming. We will be anticipating a press start win here if they can just deliver the first entry here. Stratus over the top, sees the pusher. A Paup goes down. Clay methodically just moving through this round, understanding the dynamics that there's not a lot of money on the field for the counter-terrorists is probably the right way to do this one.
Yeah, and I think that was a bit of a mistake by a Paup pushing the A ramp right there. I mean, really no reason to push when you're on the eco round unless you're going to do it with multiple people. As we see Stratus gets another entry right there, reloading. He might go down here, picks up the kill on Doherty, and now A site is completely open. Was going to be completely open. We had the quick rotate from Namisk here, and he could pick up a kill here. Does. Going for a second.
Esteban fighting right on the other side of the wall. Neminsk is going to see. Somebody saw a rifle. Esteban gets the best of him. 5-8. Press start is making the big play, and I said, Clay, that there was going to be that one moment, and I got to tell you, that one moment that happened earlier, it was when Clipsy was in bomb site B defending, landing a triple and a double kill all from the closet with that op. When they seal off B, they seem to have really assessed their personal matchups here, and they realize that their B hold, that's to say, Change's B hold, is not as strong, and I think that assessment is serving them well.
Yeah, and it was a tight game, but now it looks to be that Press Start is running away with it right now. If you saw the money at the beginning of the round, they're actually quite ahead, all members of the team above $8,000. So they are doing very well for themselves, and they set themselves up to take this first half with pretty easily.
IMU just crossed across the 2 stack boxes at Catwalk and kind of just crossed in front of an Auber scope there. I'm not sure if anyone saw it. Entry into bomb side A looks good. Esteban gets 2 with IMU cleaning up there. Good trade here. Another one, a Convict who was on the rotate killing duty, brings out IMU as he comes over to help at bomb site A, leaving Mouse by himself, our clutch man. He is coming up from CT. They kind of seem to know that nade was sort of a giveaway there. Clipsy engages him. Can't put any rounds on. Actually does tag Mouse once. Mouse was the one who was having trouble putting rounds on here, and he'll be trying to save Clay almost undoubtedly.
Yeah, he has to. He wants to save that gun for the last round here, and he might be meeting up with Stratus here. Could pick up the kill, but oh man, this is going to be close. He does get it, and now he's got to look behind him because they should be coming around CT spawn for him.
Clipsy, who engaged Mouse to begin with, finishes the job 9-5, and at best, Changes can only get a 9-6, and this is how you feel good as a terrorist, because 8-7 is what you're expecting, 9-6 is what you're getting at a minimum, and 10-5, that's the kind of split that you like to see if you win this round for press start.
Exactly, and I know that this is considered a pretty even map. I think it's probably a little bit more CT-sided maybe, but you know, that's just my personal preference, I would say. So I think the Terrorist press start is doing a great job here, and they're going to be looking really good going into the second half.
Agreed. Mouse jumping through, bounding, doing a bunny hop here. He's going to press the B tunnels, and Kramen's going to be waiting. He's been waiting this entire game, being disciplined, making sure nobody pushes through, and it's finally rewarded here, but unfortunately, he can't control his recoil firing in the unconventional... Ooh. Stratus jumps up, gets surprised. The Palp absolutely obliterates him. Clay, those old school source 2 taps, they're not going to work these days. You have to transfer your rifle recoil down and control into a 4 and 5 burst if you want to hit that long distance headshot.
Yeah, you really do. Something that a lot of people need to get used to and go and pretty much, you know, just go play against some bots, or, you know, there's the aim maps obviously, and just practice that spray, because once you get it down, it really changes your game quite a bit. As we see, they're trying to take A here, and it looks like can't get in. Eclipsey just finished. I said Eclipsey too. Clipsy just finishes it off, and yeah, look at that, 18-7, 16-6. Clipsy and Convict, the 2 MVPs for press start, and really big contributions to that half for them.
Absolutely. You guys are watching Cevo TV. I am Cotton. My partner is Klops. You're not watching Reliable versus Exertus, and that's for a reason. That's because they're facing some connectivity issues due to bad internet people. Instead, you are watching Press Start versus Changes. This is a Cevo-Main 2-1 matchup, and we like it thus far. It's been even, but thanks to some money complications for Changes, they fell behind early on here. Burst fire through the smoke will bring down Convict. He's got to be a little bit frustrated there. We have 2 counter-terrorists who have pushed into lower B. They're not lower B, excuse me, underpass, and it might be too late to affect it. They seemed, Clay, to have some sort of exotic play drawn up, but thanks to the speed rush, it didn't amount to any. Oh, hey,
the jumping Glock headshot.
Another
one.
IMU will be fighting the last one here. Stratus flashing over, trying to retake, but gets ambushed. Clay, Mouse obviously the MVP of that round, but that earlier assessment, I think that they pulled out a trick play. They tried to send 2 people to the underpass and set up some sort of ambush, but Changes just went balls out, and because of their sheer aggression, that ambush never amounted to anything.
Yeah, well, and the thing is that, you know, the thing about about this map is that you kind of, by the time you get to the window, the terrorists are at mid if both teams rush it. So they saw what they were doing. They saw them jump out the window, and then since they were already had mid control, you could only pretty much assume that they were going to go lower underpass to the B apartments once again, and they were just ready for it. Mouse was there, and he got those 2 amazing headshots with the Glock and sealed it up nicely.
So, a aggressive push here, probably a little bit predictable on an eco round, got caught. The only thing that really happened was Stratus took a bunch of damage, and his buddy Convict, who went with him, got tagged a little bit here. Long distance shot from IMU hits the ticket man, or the CT spawn man. Esteban goes down. Another push in the apartment, so the Palace goes down as well. It's pretty much a massacre. Convict and Cameron, the only 2 left. They'll be wrapped up quite nicely in a moment, I believe. Or they'll make big plays. Only one left is wielding a Galileo. Clay, there's another eco after this, so maybe Convict saves this.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants, he could save it, and they could do a surprise buy. He's going to get picked off, though, there by Novice. He was just looking at the wrong spot and didn't have the reflexes to get it up and get that shot, because I believe Novice was actually pretty low on health. And looking at the cash, a surprise buy from press start would probably not be the best idea here.
Probably not. You're right. There was no name in the tab screen, so I'm going to break my vow and actually look at the tab screen here. I have to say that the contributions from every player has been really, really good, with the exception of maybe Cameron and Esteban, who have been dragging a little bit, but they are winning, so I have very little to say about how their contributions are panning out for their teams. 3-2 is the split. They want a mid control, but mostly they want to overload toward A. There's going to be 2 at the A ramp and 1 inside of the apartments. Entry looks good. Stratus is down. Only 1 more remains in the site, and it's open for business. Bomb will get planted. 8, 9, and 7-man. Clipsy, Convict, and Esteban now have to do a pistol retake. They have a Deagle Clay, but their chance is not so good.
Not good at all. They got that site covered completely. Convict's about to go down. He's at 12 health, trying to get something with that Deagle, and really not hitting anything as he does finally go. And good defensive smoke from IMU in the window room, and that was gonna block the rotator. I think it was Clipsy over in the window. And now they're both coming in from the electrical connector. What used to be the electrical connector, just a connector now, I would guess. And they're backing out. They don't want to lose those pistols, apparently.
You know, we were a little bit disappointed that we couldn't do Reliable versus Exertus. I'm pretty pleased that we signed on to do this one.
Yeah, I am as well. I mean, it's always nice to do the invite level teams, but I don't mind doing these teams as well. You know, they made it to Maine. They got some skill and some stuff to show. So
I'm looking forward to the Season 3 playoffs, obviously because it's the playoffs, but because I want to see, you know, the teams who fill out the final play-in positions, because you can expect the complexities and the iBuy powers to be there waiting in the playoffs, but somebody in Cevo is going to step up. I'm certain of it. Somebody will step up, make the playoffs, and if not win, at least make a splash to be respectable within their brackets, and we're looking for them day by day. Afterlife certainly made the case when they played Reliable the other day.
yeah, no, they played really well. They didn't get beat too badly, and I think if they had George there and, you know, some of their other core members who usually perform well actually, you know, performed better than they did, they probably would have actually taken that win. So it was actually surprising to see that Afterlife was performing so well. And
we bring up that topic only to suggest to you that today, perhaps, though these teams are not solid locks to make the playoffs, we're always constantly evaluating, finding out who the next contender is. So let's get back to the action here. IMU setting up in the underpass, looking to find an entrance here. They want to control mid, but they're not sending enough people to do it. And if you take a look at the mini-map here, I'll just pull up the overhead real fast. Clipsy is pushing all the way behind. Convict above IMU. If he peeks just a little bit further, is going to get clipped badly here. Now, Clipsy, who is all the way behind, is trying to make a play. We have 1 peeking, that's Mouse at the top of the apartments. Cameron catches them out, and that's 1 terrorist setting up for the take, who is unavailable for the aggressive move now. Number 7, go to him, Clay. It's time. Here comes the decapitation, but he gets dinked, and that's not how you want to start that ambush. There's only 1 terrorist left in the area, the vicinity. That's our number 5-man, IMU, who was here previously.
oh my goodness.
That is a friendly fire kill, and Clipsy was very weak after getting shot in the face. He was coming from the terrorist direction, which makes sense as to how he died here. Esteban holds on to the site. IMU fires, cannot pierce that wall. It's a 3-on-1, all of them in one little spot, and IMU goes down. Press start takes another lead.
Yep, they get their guns and they finally get that round, and the terrorist's still very healthy in terms of cash, except for Doherty, and his team should be able to buy him, though. And after the buy, they are not going to be looking good in terms of cash, so if they don't get this round or get the bomb, like I said, they're probably going to be saving. And I think we're going to be expecting Convict to do some good stuff with that op, but it looks like no one's going to be challenging him in mid. They're going to be stacking up towards the A ramp.
He just picked it up in the second half. Look at him. He's dropped to 20, and he's 20. He's rating.
He was doing
2
well
to
in
1.
the first half.
Yeah, well, everybody was about breaking even because of how quick the trades were happening. There were a lot of deaths, but he's kind of separated from the pack.
Agree. Clipsy's doing quite well for himself as well. And looking at this strat, they aren't committing yet. It may be a time to rush, or they're just waiting for any type of push.
Well, I would contest that by saying they have committed. They just haven't begun. You know, you can tell where they want to go.
Yeah, hearing the flashes go over, so they're actually doing time flashes here. And here we go, Cameron, and a nice spot does get the kill on the guy in the apartments, picking up Strat. Oh, Stratus gets a kill. Doherty finally gets one, so 2 for 2 trade so far, and here's Convict with the op, picking up 2. That's going to leave Nomisk, and he's only at 16 health in a very bad position, but he can, at the very least, get this bomb planted.
Heady play here. Even though he knows this round is pretty much over for him, he needs to put his team in a position to win on the next round. So get a bomb plant in and thus give his buddies the ability to buy AKs next time around there. Great play there. Convict comes up over the top, snipes somebody at the cubby, comes down back to the electric, looks to about his own head level instead of looking up, and gets a double kill there. So that one will give him a total of 22 for the half. But that Clay, I think that was the pivotal play, that close distance op shot. And I know that you'll agree with me because they were op kills.
Absolutely, you know I favor that op quite a bit. And look at this, I thought they would be able to buy, but 2 members of the terrorists, IMU and Doherty, both saving, so that's going to only leave 3 members with guns. So currently they're going to be outgunned, and there's a pistol trying to go up against the op in mid. Smartly finally backs off and realizes he doesn't want anything. Push from Stratus in the apartments, he gets 1 kill. Mouse goes down, and now it's a 4 versus 5.
That's disappointing. Mouse completely missed, delivered virtually no damage when he had the ambush set up. And the other thing, Clay, that I wanted to point out that I'm not satisfied with changes right now is the fact that they did a partial buy. And you know how I feel about partial buys.
I feel the same way. I don't like them. If you're not going to get your whole team on board, then don't do it. Might as well just save and maybe have some extra cash, buy your teammates on the next round after that if you lose.
I understand partial micros. You can micro and get a mag and start building money because of your returns on your purchases, but a partial AK is always a recipe for disaster. Cameron gets a double after pulling his rifle down. Nemin's gonna pout, and Doherty, after Stratus chimes in, will go down. The last one was IMU. That was doomed from the beginning, and that only emphasizes how right Clay was on his observation there. Nothing to be gained when you're only wielding half a deck of cards.
Yeah, and actually one person who's been doing quite a bit better here in this second half, Cameron, he's been pretty much on fire in that A bomb site, holding down, getting good shots on the guys who try to come apartment. And look at this, we're actually going to see a full B stack, and I think they're going to go for the rush, but they're going to meet up with 2 people, and they actually got a 3rd man on Cat.
Here comes the carnage. Esteban sees the first one come through, sprays in, gets 1, gets 2, gets a 3rd one from his teammate. That's Clipsy, who's firing from the catwalk, has at least the knowledge that somebody will try to get to the closet, has another one, double for Clipsy. There's 1 in the site. The last one, a Paup, is fighting for his life. Will suicide charge. They cannot take his freedom.
Clipsy almost TK'd his buddy coming down Cat. He thought he was coming out Cat, not the window. So that would have been pretty bad. We already saw 1 pretty bad TK from Cameroon, I believe. But yeah, and that was a good hold by Press Start right there. You know, getting 3 for 1 in the early trade of the rush. I mean, always good, and I think they did a good job holding it.
Now, changes, they seem pretty composed on the counter-terrorist side, but for the most part, they're kind of disorganized. They don't have any good set pieces like Press Start does for their terrorist side. Their playbook is a little bit limited, I feel.
Yeah, we're not really seeing any smokes being used to enter into the sites, which, I mean, you know, smokes on Mirage is very strong, especially going into B and A, and we're not seeing any of that as of yet. But look at these good entries. Only 2 members of Press Start are left alive, and they got a good chance to take the site here. Stratus, could have got that kill, but missed it, and it's going to be up to... I lost connection.
Game server has been shut down. That means that Press Start must have won, and like noobs, didn't understand that we would still be watching.
That's wonderful.
Welcome, everybody.
All right.
You are watching Cevo TV, and you are not watching Reliable versus Exertus for reasons of technical difficulties, which we will attribute to DDoSers. They have scheduled for tomorrow. Join us again tomorrow so that we can cast that match for you guys, because we obviously want to do that one. We're going to sign off a little bit early today, do a little bit of maintenance and cleanup because of the difficulties that we experienced today, but tomorrow we'll deliver something much cleaner and something much more enjoyable. Well, all right. Well, how do you feel about that, Clay?
I feel fine about that. Thank you. Yeah, we had a couple issues. That's why we didn't start early today. My OBS kind of crashed and wouldn't connect. So yeah, dealing with that. We'll have that fixed by tomorrow, and we should have a good invite level match for you guys tomorrow. Exertus versus Reliable. So tune in for that one.
All right, Clay. Is there anything else before we go?
Follow us if you haven't already. I know you can't see our portraits right now, but that's because Brandon had to take over and he couldn't set it up in time. So, yeah, follow us on Twitch and our social media for updates on scheduling, and when we'll be streaming. So,
All right,
other
so
than that,
see you tomorrow. For us, for Cevo TV, Klops over there, Cotton right here. Tune in tomorrow. Reliable versus Exertus. Good night, everybody.
night, guys.